Good morning. Welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob. I'm not rolling out of bed directly this morning. I rolled out of bed into the pool and rolled out of the pool into a Facebook Live event. And as I mentioned yesterday, I'm doing a series of video posts in preparation for this weekend. I'll be occupied this weekend. So 3 posts in a row, all dealing with the topic of stress, how that relates to addiction, and what we can do about it. Yesterday, what we did is we reviewed how it is that you and I can get triggered by stress just by virtue of our being human. And this puts us at greater risk for resorting to self-medication, which is another term for addiction. And we self-medicate in order to reduce the unpleasantness of the stress we're experiencing. Remember for just a second, there are 2 stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, and that they're there for good reason. They're there to aid us in a full-on fight or flight self-protective response. So we need them. But that response is only ever meant to be a temporary state of affairs. It gives us energy, it gives us strength when we most need it. What happens, let me ask you, if we somehow get stuck in a stress response on the other hand? That is, with adrenaline and cortisol just flushing through our system chronically. Well, if you think about it, both of those brain chemicals, they're very motivating, but they're also highly toxic. In fact, our stress hormones are corrosive the longer they hang out in our system. Imagine for just a second, this is going to be gross, so prepare yourself for it. Imagine swigging a mouthful of battery acid every morning for breakfast. I told you it was going to be gross. Well, as one client of mine put it some years ago, she was a registered nurse, Bob, none of us can stand to barbecue in our own adrenaline. And that's basically what happens when you swig that mouthful of stressful hormones. We cannot sustain it. Not only can we not sustain it, but when it's on a chronic level, it'll be the end of us. This is the basis of ulcers, all kinds of medical problems, including coronary problems, and certainly is the basis of addictive behaviors. Let me just connect that up. What's the best antidote, do you think, to too much adrenaline and cortisol, too much stress in our bodies and psyches? If you guessed dopamine, you're absolutely right. See, dopamine is the brain chemical we have. We have it on the inside. You don't take it in from the outside. And it's on a seesaw or teeter-totter in our brains. Dopamine on one end, stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol on the opposite end, and they have this kind of relationship. I'd like to invite you to come back tomorrow as we investigate what happens amidst our stress responses, what happens in our bodies and our brains. How does that relate directly to addiction, and what the heck are we going to do about it? Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you here tomorrow at the Vitality Project.